Riley Gaines, the transphobic activist and Trump supporter who, let's be clear, as president, promised to release the Epstein files and still refuses. So Gaines posted this video from her Twitter account showing a bench press she did to mock the New York mayoral candidate. And here was Zoran Mamdani at a Men's Day event in Brooklyn, New York, showing that his gym days have likely been put on pause. With the help of a spotter, Mamdani, the leader for mayor, benched 135 pounds 2 times. Suddenly, folks like Gaines, sudden independent Andrew Cuomo, and current corrupt mayor Eric Adams have mocked Mamdani for his efforts. The latter wrote above a video featuring Mamdani and Adams bench pressing. The weight of the job is too heavy for Mam Scrawny. The only thing he can lift is your taxes. Cuomo's team added, this guy can't bench his own body weight, let alone carry the weight of leading the most important city in the world. To be clear, this is no indicator of someone's political acumen. As a matter of fact, we saw this same analysis done when comparing Dr. Peter Hotez and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. It's insane. But what we should pay heed to is this tweet from Gaines, which reads, 165 pounds, relatively easy reps on bench when I weighed 130 pounds. Take note, Zoran K. Mamdani. And to that I say, whoopsies.
Riley Gaines. I fear you've given the game away. Let me start by saying, that's impressive, Riley. You're able to bench press more than your own body weight. Good for you. But I fear you've given the game away, right? Because you have been running an entire campaign erroneously calling trans women men, saying that men shouldn't be competing in women's sports because the fact that they were assigned male at birth gives them some sort of biological advantage that will wipe away all accomplishments of women in sports. And yet here you are, quite literally flexing on Zoran Mamdani about how you are stronger than a cisgender man. So what you're saying is that biology had nothing to do with the fact that you tied for 5th place with a trans woman. Both of you getting beat by 3 cis women. Biology had nothing to do with that, right? That's what you're saying here? What you're saying is that the day you lost that race, you just sucked at your job. Because you're clearly able to do a lot athletically. Except win.
Pete on TikTok had a laugh, as did I. And when questioned by his haters,
the fact that Riley Gaines tied for 5th place against a trans woman should be proof enough that she is full of utter dog shit. There is no biological disadvantage that Riley Gaines is experiencing when competing with Leah Thomas. Demonstrably, there is no biological disadvantage because Riley Gaines is just as fast as Leah Thomas. They both tied for 5th place. Not only are they as fast as each other, they were not even the fastest in that race. That race that made Riley Gaines famous because she's Aquawoman being denied her birthright. They were both slower than 3 individual cisgender women who, according to your logic, have biological disadvantages against people who are trans. What the are we doing here?
He had a very, very, very good response to all of this, and also a very good question at the end.
First off, this is not how you ask for a response. Second, I've already responded to you with a literal video talking about the basic logic flaws in Riley Gaines' entire position and the entire basis of her fame. She came in 5th place. Even if Leah Thomas wasn't in the race, she would have come in 4th place. Clearly not as fast as 3 other swimmers. Like, if the unfair advantage was some sort of athletic gap, as you say, between people who are assigned male at birth and people who are assigned female at birth, then Leah Thomas would have won that race, no question. She didn't. She didn't win that race because she's not as fast as those people. It is nothing to do with biology. It has nothing to do with someone's anatomy. It has everything to do with practice, with strength, with speed, which varies from person to person, regardless of gender, regardless of biology. It is not rooted in biology. It is rooted in how much someone dedicates time, sweat, effort, blood, and tears to a sport. It has nothing to do with someone's genitals. And the fact that you can't get that through your head is not a me problem. So stop yelling at people saying, respond, respond. Why can't anyone answer this question? I am answering that question. I'm telling you that your entire basis is flawed.
Of course, when Gaines fought tooth and nail to have Leah Thomas's records expunged, and just like that, she was, meaning Gaines is still, last time we checked, a 5th place finisher.
How'd you feel? Let me say this again. They tied with a she tied with a trans woman, which means they lost to 4 cisgendered women.
Yep.
But now she wants to be the face of legislation that's not only discriminatory to our LGBTQ brothers and sisters, or whatever they may identify as, but also harmful because now she's spitting a rhetoric that, fam, you weren't that great of an athlete.
More importantly, from Congresswoman Summerlee, who, by the way, went up against AIPAC in her last congressional campaign and won.
It's disappointing to me that although the title of this hearing implies a much needed discussion, we're likely going to be forced to listen to transphobic bigotry. Because actually protecting female athletes in Title IX is important. Participating in sports provides so many benefits to our young people. Those benefits range from improved mental and physical health to enriched life skills, such as teamwork and goal setting. In terms of mental health, studies show that participating in youth sports is associated with lower rates of anxiety and depression, lower amounts of stress, higher self-esteem and confidence, and reduced risk of suicide. So why are my Republican colleagues working so hard to prevent our trans youth from participating? According to the Human Rights Campaign, in just the first 143 days of 2023, elected officials across the nation introduced more than 520 anti-LGBTQIA bills in state legislatures. 23 states banned trans youth from participating in school sports consistent with their gender identity, with some laws focusing on kids as young as kindergarten. How competitive is kindergarten? You all are working so hard at excluding and demonizing a bunch of kids. I think it's important that we raise the voices of transgender athletes, their families, and teammates. I'd like to read a few of their stories written in the first person. The first from Cece Telfer, a professional track athlete, model, and advocate. I was a former D2 national champion in the 400-meter hurdles. And I am now a professional athlete training to make it on the Team USA and represent them in the following Olympics to come. Sports have given me a plethora of things, but mainly sports have given me strength, taught me how to overcome fear and stand up when defeated. Sports have given me collaborative skills that was developed throughout the years of being an athlete and having teammates. Sports taught me how to stay focused and committed, along with the necessary skills that sports has taught me and giving me clarity and freedom. Transgender women and girls, transgender people are not a threat. We don't play sports to cheat. We deserve the rights as any other women because that's what we are. There are rules and regulation that define our ability to compete. The narrative that builds on myself and trans kids in the community is negative and dehumanizing. It feels as though people don't want us to exist. And in order to change the narrative, because we do exist, and we're not going to stop existing, we need to stop these anti-trans bills. They are dehumanizing and kids are dying. Instead, I believe the government should step up and support trans people on all levels to show that we are seen and have rights and are people just like everybody else. From Ember, a transgender female high school softball player. When I was younger, I played co-ed baseball. I loved it. When the teams became single sex, I no longer fit in. I was teased and ostracized, though the most difficult part was not feeling like myself, so I quit. I came out as trans in 7th grade and wanted to play softball, but my state requires trans girls to take hormones for a year before they can play a sport. So I waited for 3 years. During that time, I became self-conscious, uncomfortable with my body, and lost all of my confidence. I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. I was finally approved to play on a girls' team in the spring of my sophomore year of high school. Playing on a girls' team has been an incredible experience for me. I have made so many friends and improved so much despite starting so late. My teammates treat me just like everyone else on the team.
Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYT Sports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.